You're listening to Mad Men Sports.
Yo, yo, yo.
A Bills podcast presented by Black Button Distilling. To my right, we have Diamond Dave.
Switched it up on you.
Dave, how you doing, buddy?
I'm always good, Jake. How are you?
Good, man. Good. Finally, glad. I mean, we're getting Bills football back. It's getting me excited
Where
for
are
September. Well, let Zach talk about that.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are in the Mad Men studio. After a month or so of renovations, we finally finished the studio.
Upside down.
And we are in an absolutely new location, and this place looks fabulous.
I didn't even notice that Bills helmet.
Yeah, that's signed. It's got a couple signatures.
Guess who's on it, Jake?
Oh, that's a fun game. Let's start off the new studio with a fun game. Guess who's on the helmet?
Oh, man. So, all right, it's a red helmet.
Number 51.
So, Steve Tasker?
What? Nope.
That's your first guess.
No. No. That is not an 89. That is a 29.
Yeah, I don't know.
Come on, what do you got?
Jim Kelly?
No, that's Drayton Florence.
Wow.
Drayton Florence.
Well, you have an old-style helmet. I would assume you'd have someone from that era.
There's signatures right there.
Yeah,
so
I
anyway,
can't
He's a young child getting autographs.
We have Drayton Florence. He wasn't a child for Drayton Florence. And then Paul Posluszny is also on the helmet. Best wishes to Dave. Paul Posluszny was not during Dave's childhood either. But, Dave, who else is on this helmet?
Brian Mormon's on there.
Oh,
Brian Mormon.
And
Don't call him Salt Lake City Mormon.
oh no.
Zach, you know who else because you're the one that got a sign for me.
Yeah, well, I got almost everyone but Brian Mormon signed for you. Dan Carpenter and John Wedling are on that helmet. Now,
John Wedling.
it's a shame that John Wedling ruined that helmet, but I also hope he's doing really well right now.
He's probably working at a Petco somewhere.
And that's fine. We love our pets. So anyways, guys, we had a game against the Carolina Panthers today, actually, right?
The Buffalo Panthers, actually.
Well, yeah, we kind of flipped back and forth, and actually, we're more the Carolina Bills than they are the Buffalo Panthers.
I am excited. The Bills looked phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, let's just jump right in. First quarter, what more could you expect from the Buffalo Bills? I mean, Josh Allen slinging the passes. He really only made one bad pass, and it was his first pass. It was a little outside, but it was still caught. I mean, we might have something here. I know it's preseason. We all know temper your expectations for the preseason, but this may be the formula we are looking for.
You know, I texted you guys during the game
Yeah, I wish you wouldn't do that.
saying we didn't watch the game together, but McCoy looks bad on 2 plays, then it looks great on the next. And that's just how he's been his whole career. I feel comfortable with McCoy now. He just needs to run straight. Stop making the juke and jags. Just run straight.
Dave is ready to take the next step with LaShawn McCoy. He's feeling comfortable. He's ready for him to enter his body.
I was all about trading him,
my
but now I feel
God.
okay with him.
The only thing that I know from that first quarter specifically, Cole Beasley is going to be an integral part of this offense.
We'll talk about this a couple times here, but I had a fantasy draft this evening, and I took Cole Beasley as a flyer late rounds. Because how can you have a guy in 2 drives be 4 for 4 for catching? He's getting the ball fed to him. Like, Josh Allen's pulling out his breast and breastfeeding Cole Beasley the ball. You gotta love that.
Yeah, Beasley's going to be like Halloween. It's every day of the week. We might as well start calling him Jack Skeleton because he is just phenomenal out there.
I thought he was going to go with the trick-or-treat.
He is.
That was a good reference.
Scary.
I like that. Yeah,
Scary.
and they're not even great passes by Josh Allen, too. So, I mean, he's kind of reaching back for the ball. So, he has a huge range of motion.
Can we talk about Tommy Sweeney? Our tight end debate is getting heated.
Yeah, I mean, with all these injuries, someone had to shine eventually, which is very unlike last year. Last year, no one came up. Charles Clay kind of fell amongst the wayside. But Tommy Sweeney has stepped up for Dawson Knox, who stepped up for Jason Kroom, who stepped up for Tyler Croft. It is a never-ending. It is a Russian doll style.
Who stepped up for
tight
Lee
end.
Smith?
Tight end
Where
right
is
there.
Lee Smith? Is he still alive?
Yeah, he's just a blocking tight end. He'll be here, but, I mean, at one point you got to decide, would you rather have Pat DeMarco or Lee Smith? And I don't think
You've been all about that.
Yeah, I really wish that we would just get rid of one of them and
What do you guys think of a bold statement I'm about to make? Andre Roberts might be our best offseason pickup. Did you see that punt return he had?
I disagree, but it was a really nice.
I said
punt return.
might.
No, Cole Beasley will definitely be the
Yeah,
most.
it's definitely
elite.
Cole Beasley. Is it safe to say that we have the deepest tight end group?
No.
In the AFC East, you mean?
I don't think it's safe to say that.
Really? We have
I
so many
still say-
well-performing
I
tight
still
ends.
say you take any of our tight ends.
Are you
and
making this a broad thing or just the AFC East?
Fine, let's make it AFC East.
Maybe,
What do we care about?
Maybe, yeah, probably yes.
Name another team that comes close.
I said probably yes.
Patriots still have tight ends.
Listen, the Patriots are a threat because they have Tom Brady at the quarterback position. That's why they're a threat. But who the hell knows who any of these guys are at tight end? They're going to be lined up. They're going to be making plays because they have Tom Brady at quarterback. But I think soon, and I don't want to make this a bold statement, but I think soon we'll be seeing Josh Allen making those kinds of developments for the tight ends in the future.
Listen, that's all I need. I need Josh Allen, and what I have been hoping for, I've been seeing in his limited time on the field. He's making decisive throws. His short and intermediate passes have been on point. So what more can you ask for from Josh Allen?
Yeah, I think he's getting to a point in his career where he can turn players into playmakers if he places the ball properly. That's a lot of P's. You guys are welcome. But if he can place the ball properly and get to the playmakers, then you can find that those playmakers will put them in a position to prosper
So many P's.
on the playing field.
Listen, Josh Allen needs to do what quarterbacks in the past for the Bills haven't done in the recent past. Throw the ball deep. We know he's going to do that. We know he's accurate. Let's just get to it. You got fast guys with Brown, Foster, depending who the sixth receiver is. You got some fast guys down there. Throw the ball deep. Be different than the other quarterbacks in the past, like Tyrod or Trent Edwards, or even
J.P. Lawson.
Even your boy J.P. Lawson, who threw the ball deep. Was not accurate at all.
He was able to find Lee Evans multiple times.
Lee Evans.
Speaking of wide receivers, 6 wide receivers, Lee Evans, we have kind of a battle here at the 6th wide receiver position. Here we are, a whole calendar year from last year where we didn't know who the hell. I mean, we're not going to bring up him because we don't bring up him. But we have so many wide receivers that could be playmakers on this team in the regular season to the point where we don't know whether it's Isaiah McKenzie, maybe it's David Sills, who we really don't know much about. Ray McLeod could show up. Or tonight, Duke Williams makes an amazing catch in the end zone.
Yeah,
that was awesome. He might throw his hand in the ring for his 6th wide receiver position. We have an awesome battle right here.
Like, Zach, we were debating this earlier. We all agreeing that Foster, Zay Jones, Brown, Beasley all make the team. Roberts makes the team for special teams. And as a receiver.
Yeah.
You have a gun to your head right now. Who is the 6th receiver making the team? You need to pick now. Pick now.
Ray McLeod, because they wasted a draft pick.
Really?
Also, I probably just got shot because I was too long.
Actually, I'm going to kind of stray away from that. And because of this game specifically.
Jake, hurry up and pick.
Isaiah McKenzie.
I also pick Isaiah McKenzie.
He's made a huge leap in this past game.
One of us is getting shot.
The debate with Isaiah McKenzie is last year he was a special teams threat. This year we have Andre Roberts for that. Isaiah McKenzie is also a slot threat. I think that he could not only be a 6th receiver, he could pass maybe Foster on the lineup because he's a very good in the passing game. He's speedy. He gets those yak yards after catch, and I think having this debate with receivers is a very good problem to have. Duke Williams played a very good game, which I will personally talk about later.
Can I make a point about Duke Johnson? Here's my argument to why I think he may make the 53-man roster. You look at all their wide receivers.
He means Duke Williams.
Duke Williams. Whatever.
Who the fuck is
Exactly.
Did we trade for him? Go off.
You look at our wide receivers. They all look the same. They're short, fast, speedy guys. We have no one of size, strength. Duke Williams fits that mold. He's the only one on the roster with his attributes. So I think there's a point to keeping him just to give you a little bit of diversity in that wide receiver group.
I think if you're going to keep him for diversity, you stash him on the practice squad. I don't think you're going to find a lot of teams lining up to sign him. One name I did forget to mention for the 6th wide receiver, and I know fans and listeners are going to be like, whoa. What about our boy, Cam Phillips? He has definitely made many progressions. He's a gamer. Now, he's definitely proven that he's able to compete for a position. In the draft process, he was a first-round, second-round talent who fell to an undrafted free agent. The job they did last year of bringing in undrafted free agent wide receivers was amazing, and I applaud them. But now is the time you got to finally weed out who can be a sink or a floater or a sinker. And now you really have to figure out who the 6th wide receiver is. I think it is down to the 2 we said with Ray McLeod and Isaiah McKenzie. And I do think that my personal opinion is Isaiah McKenzie comes up short because they might be able to pick him up free willingly towards the end of maybe someone gets hurt and they can just bring him back. But also to that point, I think Raymond McLeod could just be stashed on the practice squad eligible, I think we might have something there.
Yeah, I think it's a very good debate to have. What I was dying to ask you guys is, what do we do with running back? Typically, we're probably going to keep 4. They are keeping DeMarco, even though Zach's probably against it. They're probably keeping DeMarco. He was a captain last year. He's not going anywhere. You keep 4 running backs. You have Gore. You have McCoy. You have Singletary. Those guys are making it. You have one more. Christian Wade's a fan favorite for everyone. Everyone loves him. It's not happening, guys. He's
Keep him on
you take the risk of putting him on practice squad. A team takes him.
They can't. He's guarded by 1 year. Next year.
Yeah, you have the option for a team taking him, but the Bills don't put him on practice or put him on the active roster. He's not playing. Yeldon played well tonight, but I think he's got a long uphill climb to go. I think if we're keeping a 4th, it's going to be Murphy. What do you guys think?
Murphy did play well today, but I don't see him staying around as the 4th running back. That's just my personal opinion. I can back it up, but Jake, go ahead and let's hear your voice first.
Yeah, I'm just not high on LaShawn McCoy. I mean, from last year to the little flashes, I know you liked what you saw out of LaShawn McCoy today, Dave. I just didn't see it. He made 1 or 2 guys miss. That's not what you need. You need downhill running in this kind of offense.
Agreed, but he looked young and fresh. He looked into the game again. When he's in and ready to play, he's great. And we didn't have that last year because he gave up.
So you're not in on LaShawn McCoy?
Exactly. So what does LaShawn McCoy give you that both Frank Gore and Devin Singletary don't?
Breaking my brain.
Right now, he right there, Zach. He breaks the field. He breaks the mold. He gets in the open field.
And Devin Singletary can't?
We don't know that yet. Devin Singletary is still a rookie. Devin Singletary is probably the future for 5 years for the Bills. Well, McCoy is probably openly in his last year, but you could still get juice out of him.
What I see from Devin Singletary is great field vision, elusiveness. He's I dare to say it, a little LaShawn McCoy.
I agree with all of that. I'm not disagreeing with you, but McCoy's going to be on the starting roster.
Let's pump the brakes in this conversation because it's gone really haywire really fast. LaShawn McCoy will be on this roster on week 1 and throughout the season, barring an injury or trade. However, I think when it comes to who is the final running back, I don't think it's Marcus Murphy because I don't think he brings enough intangibles to the team in order to stick around long term. But I think a guy that has thrown his hat in the ring a little bit the past couple weeks, and he did have a fumble today, which wasn't the greatest move for a guy trying to make the roster, but Sonoris Perry, number 32 for the Buffalo Bills for the first time since a long time.
Juice.
But I think he's got a shot to make the team due to special teams contributions. You got to find guys out there that can play two different positions on the field. You can only have 53 active players, so you're not going to throw out most of those guys on special teams. But if you can find a guy who might be a little sure-handed on the running back position and also is willing to be a gunner down the field and during kickoffs, punt returns, and things of those natures, you got to be able to land these players and put them on your team. So if I'm picking Marcus Murphy, who I know has a proven problem holding onto the ball, peas are my thing today for some reason, then I would rather have Sonoris Perry.
So many peas. Yeah, I mean, but you have to say Marcus Murphy has proved himself in actual games. So, I mean, you can't discount that. Sonoris Perry, I don't think has a shot of making
I
this
think
team.
Perry's the practice squad lock. I think he makes the practice squad. I don't think the fan favorite of Christian Wade makes the team, and I think it's a great story. And I think he still has a lot more game. If he wows us in the next 2 games, then we can give him a shot. Maybe make him a surprise player on the active roster. But he's not going to. I think Murphy's a lock. I think Perry is a practice squad guy. I think that fumble he had today was a big deal. Other than that, I don't know if the special teams things really is to shine because Andre Roberts really is the guy on special teams right now.
So Diamond Dave's John Locke of the week is that Sonoris Perry is a practice squad player and Marcus Murphy makes the roster. That is a bold statement by Diamond Dave.
Yeah.
Now, let's transition from offense to defense because we've been blowing the offense, which is great.
We're also going to be blowing the defense, so I mean.
But now it's time to save some jaw space for the defense here because we're about to go haywire on these
guys. I act like a 5-year-old who's being told he's going to Disney every time the Bills get sacks. I love sacks. You guys will learn that about me. And the Bills got sacks today.
What?
That's a live podcast, Dave. You got to be able to control your temper here. But yeah, no, sacks, getting to the quarterback rushes, quarterback hurries are the biggest thing for a defense. It's what stirs the drink. It's what made those Rex Ryan and Jim Schwartz defenses great.
Daryl Johnson got a second sack, the 7th-round pick for the Bills. Got a second sack today. He's fighting that 4th defensive end spot to make a team.
I think he makes this team. I think, to start, he's going to be running with the 2s next week.
I could see that. That's possible.
They're going to give him that shot. They're going to give him that shot because no way is a third stringer in a preseason game really looking to make the team. You got to at least run with the 2s.
Shaq Lawson looked strong. He was active in there. Ed Oliver got a bat down. He looked hungry. Also, you know who really tore it up today? And I'll eat my words because I was down on him a couple weeks ago. Levi Wallace looked like a shutdown corner. I know it's preseason. I know I'll pump the brakes. But he looked like a shutdown corner in preseason today. Trey White wasn't mentioned, which is always a good thing for a corner. But Levi Wallace looked like a monster. He is the starting cornerback.
Yeah, the second-year cornerback out of Alabama really showed his SEC roots today because he did shut down that whole opposite side of Trey White, which is going to be picked on frequently this season because more and more Trey White will become noticed in this league and people will go against him on the opposite side of the field. So if you have a threat like Levi Wallace, which Sean McDermott defenses are known for having stout defensive backs, so this could really be something that benefits the team long term. And the depth at defensive back is getting awesome. Kevin Johnson took a pick 6 to the house today, and it was incredible.
It was beauty.
Now, it was a terrible throw, but the ability to scoop and score, pick 6, bingo, the ball is an enormous help when you have depth at the cornerback position. It was with the second-team defense, but that doesn't take away the fact that Kevin Johnson has had a great spring and a great summer, and he's ready to roll going into the regular season.
He looks like a first-round pick again.
Absolutely. He has earned his playing time, and I expect to see a heavier battle going into week 3 for that defensive back second position at the corners.
You know who else was all over the field today and actually recorded 12 tackles?
Who?
Deion Lacey, which you will hear about again later.
Oh, my God.
In
he
a
was
new segment
nuts today. Absolutely nuts in the first half. When the second-team linebackers came in, he shined the brightest. He was all over the field, in the backfield, filling his gaps, reading the runs, reading the passes. He was all over the field. He had 12 tackles, like Dave mentioned. I don't know what more you could expect from a special teamer last year, who led the team last year in special team snaps. Him going into this year has proven that he will be able to fill in at the linebacker position, which is going to be awesome because as Lorenzo Alexander gets older, he's only going to need more snaps off. So when that happens, they're not trading out for a cornerback. He might need to be in there in order to stop the run on certain plays, or if Matt Milano needs to come out for a blow, you need to be able to have a guy like Deion Lacey to fill in for that. I think they have an immense amount of depth at the linebacker position. Corey Thompson, who didn't play today, is a great, stout linebacker, and we all know that Jake's buddy Julian Stanford is an animal in the special teams and is willing to step in if needed.
He's a terrifying human being. I'll just say that. He throws his body around, no care in the world. He is a terrifying human being.
Absolutely. He's a gym rat and he uses his body as a weapon on the field. That's exactly what you want out of a linebacker. Those are the scariest guys to play against. And while he is a special teamer, he can fill in as well. I think the Bills have an enormous amount of depth at the linebacker position. You're going to see a lot of guys that get cut here land somewhere else in the defensive backs area and in the linebackers area, which is an amazing problem to have if you're Sean McDermott, because that means you're breeding, maturing, and grooming an enormous amount of talent in the depths of your team.
Yeah, we just mentioned 2 backup linebackers who are going to be major factors in special teams. Guys, our special teams is going to be good again for the first time in maybe 5 years.
Yeah, much like Dave mentioned, you got Andre Roberts, who is a proven return specialist. Now, while he can play wide receiver, he was in the Pro Bowl last year for a return specialist. To be able to have your new Terrence McGee on this team and have a guy that can really control, he can really flip the field for you as a special teamer, that is an awesome tool to have. And going forward, you better hope you can keep him around because that is a key facet. There's 3 phases of this football game nowadays. It is offense, defense, and special teams is relevant again because even though they take off kick returns to the 20, 25 now.
25.
I mean, this is ridiculous. But punt returns is where people need to make their money, and there's a place where Andre Roberts succeeded, especially against the Bills last year, but where the Bills fell flat, period, last year. It got to the point last year where they just had Micah Hyde call fair catches back there, which if you need to be able to excel in the third facet of that game.
Yeah, and that's certainly not a good look when you have Micah Hyde just calling fair catches. I think our return guys kind of bring something. I mean, Isaiah McKenzie, Andre Roberts, as we've been talking about, we're finally dangerous.
Murphy can return like last year.
He won't be on the team, though.
Oh.
We'll see.
Another time.
Couple
We'll
arguments.
talk about it Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, we should probably also bring up the things that the Bills could improve on, right? I mean, everything wasn't fantastic.
There's always improvement.
I think we would just start at the top here with third-string quarterback Tyree Jackson. Now, while it is a favor, it seems like at this point that he's on the team, I don't know what they expect to groom out of him. I don't know what they really see for him. Poor kid probably should have stayed in college, and that's not a knock on Tyree Jackson. He's a nice guy, local guy. I mean, not local from high school, but local college-wise. It's awesome to have a guy like that in the room on the NFL side of the teams, but I don't know if he's helping the third stringers kind of shine. Jacob mentioned to me earlier today that David Sills just isn't getting the amount of reps that
He didn't get
possibly
anything
could.
today.
Yeah.
No, nothing.
And that might be indication of what's going on with Tyree Jackson because, to be fair, Brian Dable, Ken Dorsey, Chad Hall, they need to know what's going on with those players. Cut down day is less than 2 weeks away at this point. You need to be able to figure out if these guys can play the game. And having overthrows, missed passes, just terrible reads, sacks on plays that definitely shouldn't be sacks, that doesn't help the progression of the rest of the 10 players on the field with him.
And also, Zach, like tonight was a lot of those backups, second stringers, and third stringers. Tonight was their night to perform because next week the starters play into the second half. The last week, the guys that are bubble players are playing most of the game. So the guys like Sills, Jackson, this was technically their day to shine. Coaches are still going to give them a chance in the fourth game, but this was a big loss today. Yeah.
Yeah, and like me and Dave had lunch today. We were talking about it. He even said there's gonna be.
Thanks for the invite.
You were at work, but Dave said that what I think after this game there's gonna be a bunch of cuts, and you want to know what? I don't think that's possible because they really don't know what they're cutting right now because Tyree Jackson has really brought down the rest of the players around him. Now, I feel like if they want to get some looks to these players, they really could give them second team reps with Matt Barkley next week, which I think will be the most likely scenario.
Yeah.
But I mean, time will tell.
Yeah, like can I give my disappointment of the game or needs improvement?
Yeah, of course.
This is going to be not favorable at all. But I'm going to say the starting offensive line was still disappointing to me. And I'll tell you why. Really? Josh Allen was on the run every single play, was sacked twice. There's still so much more improvement that needs to be done. The run game, sure. There were holes had for McCoy. There was holes had for Singletary. But if you watch the tape, and I did, Josh Allen was on the run every single play he threw the ball.
I won't say he's on the run every single play, but I do get your point that it doesn't look like the offensive line is super sound right now. And I will kind of almost chalk that up to Ty Nsekhe not being in the lineup at all.
Neither is Morris.
Yeah, exactly. So they are missing probably two starters there. I did think that Cody Ford looked a little outside of his range at left or right tackle today. I think they will eventually move him back into right guard. And I really think that in between Nsekhe and Morris, he'll really shine. And I think that's something that will really be a bright spot. I wrote down in my notes that Quentin Spain had an amazing block on one of the runs that McCoy had in the first quarter. I enjoy the left side of my line again. It was Deion Dawkins and Incognito and Wood 2 years ago, and I think that that'll be almost better this year with Dawkins, Spain, and Morse at that left side.
And keep in mind that, sorry, Jake, I didn't mean to cut you off,
Okay.
but Panthers have a top 7 front 7. They're very good in the front 7.
Gerald McCoy, they did players,
They did not have Luke Kuechly. They didn't have Newton, which really actually pissed me off. I want to see how Newton looked against our defense. But their front 7 is very good. So I'm giving our offensive line some slack, but there was much more improvement that needs to be done.
Jacob?
Yeah, I mean, I like our offensive line. I kind of disagree with you. There was a couple plays where Josh Allen had to escape the pocket, but all those passes to Cole Beasley, he stuck inside that pocket and had good protection. I mean, I'm basing this off of the offensive line play from last year, and it's above and beyond better. I mean, it's getting me excited for the regular season. I definitely think they're going to move Cody Ford to guard and Ty Nsekhe to right guard. Ooh. Or right tackle, excuse me. I don't think Cody Ford stays on the outside. But, yeah. very excited to have Mitch Morris back.
Yeah, they ran a couple stunts against Ford on the outside today during the game, and I really don't think he handled it well. That actually led to one of Josh Allen's sacks, which I really hated to see in the preseason. Every time he hit the ground, I thought to myself, holy shit, just get up, please. Like, that's the worst thing you can have happen. I would like to see if they're going to keep 4 preseason games, is that they have a quick whistle on quarterback, potentially tackling plays, correct?
Yeah, because, I mean, there was a couple times, and even more specifically, Panthers quarterbacks were destroyed. A couple of them were called for roughing the passer.
Yeah, that Shaq Lawson call was ridiculous. He barely touched him. But whatever. I get you. That's exactly what I'm vouching for, though.
But, I mean, yeah, you can't be killing quarterbacks in the preseason because, I mean, preseason is, all right, you shed a block. Perfect.
I think it'd
Blow
be okay
the
to give them red jerseys to wear. Make them non-touchable.
I'm just glad that we're all on the same page about let's protect quarterbacks. And even the NFL would want to protect quarterbacks in the preseason because you don't want your product to get
where the
watered
money is.
down. Exactly. That's the playmakers.
Yeah. All right. So let's move on to our segment, Mad Men by the Numbers. We're only gonna have 2 questions today. I'm gonna keep it light because I know Dave's got some things he wants to say later on.
For Sunday,
So all right, 0 to 100.
Real quick.
Isaiah McKenzie beats out Ray McLeod in the standings.
Me first?
Yes, you first.
I'm Zach, and I believe that so it's McKenzie beating out McLeod?
That's correct.
50% chance. Either it happens or it doesn't. Sorry.
Not really what we're looking for,
Party
but
pooper.
sure.
Yeah, sorry about
Dave,
that.
please give me a more interesting answer.
85% he makes the team over McLeod.
Whoa.
I don't have much more information other than what I've already said. I just believe he's the ultimately better player. McLeod was drafted by the team.
I love the studio.
But we have 5 other people that are guaranteed to make... I mean, there could be a shot, guys. Foster really hasn't done a crazy amount. He is making the team. I've always been on board with him. You know that. I'm saying there could be a shock. There always is. What we have on receiver right now is a very good problem to have. We have potentially 8 receivers that want to make this team. I'm sure they all want to make the team. We have 8 receivers that can make the team. 2 of them aren't going to make the team. So, I mean, that's a very good problem to have. I do think McKenzie, long story short, makes the team over McLeod.
Absolutely. Now, just to remind you guys, this is Mad Men by the Numbers presented by Prima Pizza Pasta, located on the corner of West Chippewa and Pearl. Stop in for their daily lunch specials. Every day but Sunday.
Yeah, you gotta get that white pizza.
White pizza every week. Damn it. Try a calzone, guys.
Another P.
Another P. All right.
Today's letter is P. Now, Jake, what's our second question, buddy?
Second question. We're sticking on position battles because we're getting to the end of the preseason. We got to get our 53. We got to get our starting lineup. Who's it going to be opposite Trey White?
Ooh. Now, that's a tough one. So you want a percentage of... You want me to run down, like, the top 3? And who?
Yeah, give me 3 and give me percentages.
Oh, wow. That's a tough one. I go Levi Wallace, 80%, just because he's, the incumbent. He's got the 2 games under his belt as the starter. He had a great game today. I mean, that, like Dave said, that can't be undermined at all. That was a ridiculously awesome game that he had today, this afternoon. But 80% there. This isn't going to add up to 100. I'm going to be honest with you guys.
And that's fine. I don't need it to.
EJ Gaines, 0%. Screw him. Kevin Johnson has an 86% chance. Just because he had that pick 6 today. I'm giving him a little bit more percentage to start. But out of 100, they each have 80, 0, and 86.
EJ Gaines is on IR, right? Or no?
Not yet. He will be, right?
He will be. That's why he has a 0% chance.
Oh, David.
So I'm going to be a party pooper here. Zach ruined the last one by being a party pooper. I'm going to be a party pooper, too.
Oh, no.
More P's.
Stop.
Levi Wallace, 100% as a starter.
That's not a party pooper.
Leslie Frazier already says he's a starter. He's playing like a starter. He looks like a starter. What are we doing? I'm a huge fan of Kevin Johnson, though. We sat in the other room probably 5 weeks ago, and I predicted Kevin Johnson a start for the Bills. I was wrong. I'm okay to admit it because Levi Wallace has owned it. Kevin Johnson will make the team. He will be probably the fourth corner. I could see Captain or Cam Lewis, anyone being the 5th, but right now I know that Kevin Johnson is making the team. He's not starting, though, and that's okay. He still will be a big part of the defense.
Let me just interject real quick and just say that I said Kevin Johnson 86%, which is more than Levi Wallace. I meant to say 46%. I got excited. I'm sorry.
Oh, so no love for Lafayette Pitts. Obviously, I know he's not cracking
No, he's
starting,
a perfect special teamer, though.
but I need him to make that team.
you
I'm
will.
high.
You
on
got
Lafayette
stock in
Pitts.
it?
Don't worry.
Yeah, man.
The dreads will be there. Don't you worry, buddy.
Perfect. And that was Madman by the Numbers.
Presented by?
Prima Pizza Pasta.
Awesome. Now we have another segment. We're going to follow up that segment with the last segment of the night. We do have a segment on Sunday because Sunday we'll be back to our regular scheduled podcast. I know I'm giving you guys 2 days in 3 days. We're going to do 2 and 3. We're wild. We're mad.
It's actually the Bills' fault.
You have to talk to my agent. You need me again in 2 more days?
Yeah, I'm sorry, boys.
Dude, we
we
pay you
have a
like
schedule,
$5
you
an
know?
episode.
We have a schedule. But Dave, you have been begging for weeks.
I have
now.
fought tooth and nail for a fun segment like this.
Well presented.
Diamond in the rough. My 3 diamonds in the rough. The one rule I have with this is I've decided not to include quarterbacks because quarterbacks will be well talked about every game. So I picked 3 of my best players, 3 diamonds in the rough that performed in the game that outshined anybody. And we could do something fun with it at the end of the year. Maybe tally them, whoever gets the most. I don't know. Maybe I'll donate $100 to their charity. I don't know. We'll see. We can talk about it. Let's see if the fans like it. My first diamond in the rough is Deion Lacey. He started, I think, 2 games last year. For Milano was out there. There was a bunch of rotation. Deion Lacey tore it up as special teams. Today, he had his 12 tackles. He looked great. He was all over the place. John Murphy would not shut up about him. He was just all over the place. So he's my 3rd diamond in the rough. My 2nd diamond in the rough is Kevin Johnson. He had an easy pick. He had a very easy pick. But still, he got his name out there. He's being talked about. He's tore it up this offseason so far. He's going to make the team. He had not making the team written all over him. One of those veterans that get brought in here like last year with Gaines. He isn't injured. He doesn't have a track record being injured. He went out there. He tore it up. He has a roster spot now. I think he's making the team. My first diamond in the rough, Duke Williams. 2 weeks ago, we were circling him in as Victor Bolden or the other receiver. I can't think of. David Stills, yeah, sorry. That weren't making the team. Might as well just get them off their camp fodder or whatever. Duke Williams today took the bull by the horns, went out there, had a great touchdown catch, looked great, had 2 more receptions. Guy put together a nice little game. He's put his name back out there. He was with the 2nd team today, I've noticed. We'll see how he looks next week. I think he has a shot. He maybe 15% chance, but still, he's out there. Anything could happen. He's an injury is away. He can make this team. He's my first diamond in the rough. Tell me if you guys agree. Tell me if you guys liked it. Give me something.
I like it. I don't love it, but I think you have to go with Daryl Johnson. That's the easiest pick. I mean, yes, the level of competition he's playing against isn't all pro, but from a rookie standpoint, I mean, you're shredding guys in a matter of 2 seconds and getting to the quarterback, causing a forced fumble, and on the next 2 plays, you're rushing the quarterback almost for a safety.
Yeah,
you gotta give it to Daryl Johnson.
And he was thought about, as was Levi Wallace, as was Shaq Lawson. They were all thought about in my head. I picked these guys because they stuck out, and they're 3 guys that are going to be huge factors in the next 2 preseason games, and with the exception of Duke Williams, can make the team. So, yeah, I've definitely thought about it. I do think Daryl Johnson's going to be the 4th defensive end to make the team, and you're right. He is probably number 4 on my diamond in the roughs, but there's only 3.
Thank you.
I love this segment. I love the diamond in the rough segment. I love Jake's rebuttal. I'm going to talk to Black Button and get this sponsored by them. Dave, would you love a Black Button sponsorship for that?
I would be flattered. It would be like sitting on Santa's lap. I would not know what to say.
Well, I'm going to talk to Allison this week, get it sponsored by Black Button. Just as always, our podcast is always sponsored by Black Button Distilling on the corner of Swan Street and Michigan. Sorry about that. 149 Swan Street. Check them out. Block away from the ballpark.
Dave, what are you sipping on tonight, buddy?
As always, the apple pie moonshine. I need to drink other things, but when I'm in love, I'm in love.
Listen, you stick
be in
with
love.
what you know, and that's fine.
I'm in love.
It's so smooth. I mean, that's also my favorite. I know Zach is a fan of that 4-grain bourbon.
Yeah, but tonight I'm drinking the bourbon cream. I went with the bourbon cream because it's a late night podcast. We had to watch the game. I had that fantasy draft afterwards. You guys really changed your schedule around for me, and I appreciate that. Gonna add a little bourbon cream to my coffee, and here we are.
That actually sounds really good.
It's fantastic. Want to sip?
Yes, please.
A little after, I'm enjoying the moonshine. I don't think it mixed together.
Absolutely. Well, Dave, what do we say at the end of the day? Cheers to a day well done. Well, guys, that's our podcast for this evening. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Give us a subscription wherever you listen to us. Put the notification on. Give us a like. Drop a comment wherever. Send us an email. We don't care. We'll always respond. But
you see it on YouTube, share it. Get your friends involved with us. Let's get some follows. Let's get some likes. Let's get fired up for the season.
Absolutely. Speaking of getting fired up for the season, coming up soon, we will have a date for you for our kickoff to the season party sponsored by Black Button Distilling. Black Button Distilling. We keep telling you the address, so you should know by now. We'll see you there.
You guys can party with Diamond Dave.
And boy, does Diamond Dave party.
Diamond Dave parties. We'll be making specialty cocktails. We'll be having tons of giveaways. We'll be having basket raffles for free. You guys just wait and see. We'll be bringing the madness to you. All you got to do is show up. We'll have free pizza.
We will have nice surprises.
Free pizza presented by
and it's
going
to
be
Diamond
Pizza
Dave
on the corner of West Chippewa and Pearl. We are there. We will be square, and so will you be, guys. Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you on Sunday, Monday morning probably. Take care, guys, and enjoy.
And that's the madness.